I think I'm like 6, but 4. 4.
Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat. There's no better place to buy a motor for your boat either. They are a top 10 Yamaha dealer in their class. That's for the entire United States of America. It's the 10th year in a row, and you know about their boats. They have the biggest selection. They carry more makes and models than anyone between Georgia and Middle Tennessee and probably the entire state of Tennessee. You can also buy there are people who buy boats from Madisonville Marine all over the country. They ship them to Florida and California. What does that tell you? Why wouldn't they go to their local dealers? Because the best deals, the best selection can be found at Madisonville Marine right here in your own backyard. Visit them, Highway 411 North in Madisonville, madmarine.com. All right, back with our VFLs, Daniel, Marlon, Sterling, and Will. Simple question. Gary Danielson hinted at it a couple of times yesterday. Just watching it, I thought there might be something to it. Was the stage at this point for where the Josh Heupel rebuild project is, was the stage too big for Tennessee yesterday? Gentlemen.
I think it was. And I think it was refer back to Josh Heupel's comments about the loud, the noise, all that stuff, that you weren't prepared as well for that and being able to handle that. Also, like I said, first play of the game, you had a bust. Then you had the false starts. I mean, it was just one of those things where you looked at this team and you said, I get it, you've been hyped up and you're too far juiced up. You've let it become a little bit more than a game, and you hadn't been here before. So I understand why, and you understand why Georgia, who's been in these types of games before, is a little more calmer and collected. But in this kind of game, I think it's your first time, especially on the road, big game like this. And so I think they were a little out of step and not ready for it.
Yeah, and really to piggyback off of that, I was thinking I know I mentioned special teams almost every week it seems like,
okay.
But Georgia has a 75-yard punt. It really hurt Tennessee in that moment. Tennessee comes out and has to punt it and gets 27 yards or something like that. It crushes a team when you have that, and so your coaching has to make tough decisions. And sometimes you got to put different guys on special teams, or you're going to have to change your special teams coordinator, or something's got to happen there to make plays. And I think in that same moment too, I see Hooker get a little shaken up, and on defense, we got changed out all the time. If we're having a bad game, it's like, all right, Dan, second half you're out, Marlon you're in, or whoever. Sometimes you need a spark, and in that situation, I'd have tried Milton out on a drive or two just to see what he would have done, just to give Hooker a chance to sit down. Hey, let's think about this. What are they doing? How can we do this? You may have to put him back in, but you got to make those tough decisions in the game.
All right.
I
Former
quarterback, and understand the situation that we were dealing with yesterday from a quarterback's position and mindset. I don't think the stage was too big. It just was a situation where we got out of sync. That happens to every team every year. And yesterday was just the wrong time to do it with an opponent like Georgia. I don't think the stage was too big, because when the stage is too big, you find a team being intimidated. I think we were intimidated yesterday. We kept on fighting. We just couldn't execute at the level we've been executing.
It's not that we were intimidated, but it's that they had not faced this type of crowd in this type of game that threw them off, their communication.
Georgia's been in 15 of those games
Right.
in the last 5 years.
Exactly, and I don't think they hit that, because they played Alabama last year. They played all those games, but those teams were not that intense. They thought they were going to roll their hat out and beat us by 30. So they haven't seen like that team that came and was like, all right, we're bringing our all today. We got to take it to them. I mean, I know difference, but I mean, did you see any of that, Sterling?
Well, what I saw yesterday was, it was a time where, like I said, I sound like a broken record. We were just out of sync. But to say the stage was too big,
You don't think that had anything to do with him being out of sync?
I think to me, no, because if the stage was too big, you just saw more heads down. Those guys were still bringing the fight to Georgia. Just Georgia had a little more yesterday.
I don't
That's
know.
it.
I thought I didn't see as much fight yesterday.
I saw
it.
I felt like it was too big. Tennessee was for the first time. I don't know, maybe Kentucky, but I would say officially against a really good opponent for the first time, we became the hunted. And I thought, just sitting there watching the game yesterday, you've got to be able to take their punches, get in the corner, and come out of it. And I don't think we ever came out of it. We was out of rhythm, like Sterling just talked about. Defensively, I thought we did okay. I didn't think we were great, but then offensively, it looked like we was out of sync the entire game. I feel like Georgia had a chip on their shoulder. This was the first time Tennessee was going into a game and somebody else was saying, "I'm coming to get you." And so I feel like we didn't respond well in that atmosphere and with that challenge on our back.
Okay, we gotta catch a break here, but I would just say, Will, you got to Tennessee in '98, right in time for the national championship team. You weren't here for '95. Great team, couldn't get over the hump. '96, you're getting used to playing in these level games. '97, you get the SEC championship game, you still don't win the net. There's something to be said for, we've played in these games, we're used to it now. It's rare to see a team just come out of nowhere and jump right from 7-6, 10 years of suck into, oh yeah, we're going to go win at Georgia.
Oh, my bad. I was a member of the '89 team. That happened to us.
Well,
so
but-
we know.
Well, okay.
I'm saying, but like Georgia had the same experience. How many times did they show up playoff and then they'd get beat? I mean, like they had to earn how to get through one of these tough
That
games.
'89 team had so many guys drafted into the NFL, more than this team's going to have. That's a little different, Sterling. You know that.
It's a little different, but no one knew that in '88.
Okay. All right. When we come back, we got his dandruff. He didn't like my comment there. He's getting smart out of it. All right, when we come back, see if you've heard this tease before. As bizarre as it sounds, is Josh Heupel's offense a front-running offense? We'll explain what that means next, and this time, I mean it. That's next.